in there, turned it into a train wreck all at once. I'm getting out of the road. Y'all have a good Sunday. I'm gone. Quickly.
Hey, it's me, Shane, aka Gemini, and yeah, still in the kitchen, still working on getting my workbench cleaned off in the garage with everything I got going on. So, I did want to show you guys today. I got another package here. Some pretty cool stuff inside of here, I think. Let's see what we got here. Well, that's exciting, right? Okay, we got packing slip. What's this here? This is what is this? This is something that's packaged in bubble wrap very well. This is, a President remote Bluetooth mic. So, some interesting stuff there. Heavy duty power cord. Some knobs. Just like the kind of knobs you attach your bracket to on the side of a radio. Something else in here too. What is this? Oh, you know what? I'll bet I know what this is. Check it out. Oh yeah. This is going to make me happy and make my life a little bit easier. The K-625, the docking station, the transceiver docking station for the President Washington that I just got. I got another video on one of these, the 621 that I got for my friend. Check out the video on that. It'll be in the description someplace. But yeah, we're going to check this thing out today. This is going to be fun. So stick with me. Okay, I'm back, and yeah, this is going to be its own video, this President Bluetooth microphone. So check my video quay for that one of these days. So here we go, the K-625. Pretty cool. Again, this is basically it's called a transceiver docking station. Basically, the idea behind this thing is if you've got a CB radio, 10-meter radio, that type of a thing, this is a docking station for it. Most of us forever have had to prop up the radio on something or set it on something. They make these rails now so that you can put these on the side of your radio, and I've been using those for the last couple of weeks, so these are great. Going to do a video on these as well. These are also the same brand or made by the same company that makes these here, I believe. But this thing here, it's got a really nice speaker in the front of it here, as you can see. It's got its own Meanwell 17 amp 200 watt power supply in here. It's got a 60 by 60 by 10 cooling fan right here. It's got a power switch on off for the main power, and then a high, medium, and low switch for the cooling fan here. And it takes a standard style computer, electronics plug with that standard style end in there, which is really, really cool. So yeah, this right here goes over the back here. Goes in here somehow. I'm trying to think of how it goes in there. Maybe it goes in here like that. I will have to look at the instructions, and it does have excellent instructions. They come with great instructions. It is called the K-Link Solutions K-625 Transceiver Docking Station. And again, excellent instructions. Spec sheet for the power supply there. Color pictures of how it goes together and everything. Really, really nice to have this here. So whoever made this was definitely thorough enough to include a nice set of instructions with it. And that's always nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to pause the camera here and grab some wire strippers and a screwdriver, and we're going to see if we can get my radio installed on this thing real quick. So stick with me. Okay, I'm back, and I got some wire strippers, some wire cutters, and a screwdriver. So this should be pretty simple. Okay, let's see. So the radio is going to sit on here. Like this. Okay. So the cord's going to come back here and go in back there, so we don't need very much cord. Pretty much the bare minimum. So I'm just going to see, let's see here. Cut this off. You're actually supposed to run the cord through this slot here, run it out and into the radio, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, strip these ends off and kind of run it inside here and run it, back up that way. I think that's a little bit cleaner way to do it. So that's how I'm going to do it. Yeah, I ought to probably do it right about there. Too small a wire cutters to be cutting that. Okay. These are definitely good cables. I mean, these 12 gauge, these working ones are good. And then now you got some nice wire to use for something else. Guarantee you use it for something else. All right. Get these things split here. Proper thing to do would probably be to tin these with a little bit of solder, but I'm not going to worry about doing that since they're really easy to get to, and I may at some point just actually put some terminals on there, some little U terminals on there, so I can just slide them on and off of there. Okay, so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, these are very clearly marked, positive and negative. So you've got basically, these three banks here are the positive and these three here are the negative. Once again, I don't see any problems with putting some, extra fans or lights or, some other things in here. I think that probably work out pretty good with this thing. So, okay. Well, okay. So it looks like the reason they put this slot here is because it's easier to feed the wires in here to put them on these terminals. But if you're crafty enough, and you can just kind of bend these at a little bit of an angle, I think that'll work just fine. And yeah, I should have grabbed my glasses because I don't think they're sitting out here. Always grab your glasses. Alright. Okay, looks like I got that one in there pretty good. Again, if you loosen these screws too much and they fall out, no big deal. Just be patient, put them back in there, and do what you got to do. So once again, around an 80-watt radio, 12 gauge wire, pretty short run. You only got about 18 inches or so there, so shouldn't be a problem. Again, you could tin those ends a little bit with some solder or put, a crimp terminal or something on there. Pretty much whatever you want. Here's our jack for our speaker up here. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see how we can tuck this in here in a way that's appropriate here. All right. These Workman brand cords, the plugs on them have a nice tight fit too. Some of them are kind of sloppy and just kind of not, you know. But these are probably the best cords you can get, you know, for what they are. And if you need more than this, you know, you're just going to have to, you know, run something heavier or make your own. But for what they are, these are pretty good. Okay, so I think I can just kind of fold this down here, and that should be fine. I wouldn't want a huge wad of wiring, you know, in there because your fan's in there and stuff, but okay, so I got a couple of knobs here, so let me put my knobs in here somewhere. Again, you could use 2 knobs or 4 knobs, however you want to do it. 2 is probably plenty. If you're going to maybe put your bracket on here, you're going to be carrying it around or moving it around more, 4 would probably be good. I'm still going to be experimenting with putting the bracket on here and all that, so there we go. I guess before I put that on there, I could have just given you a run through how I wired it on there. You can see right there, I just put the red one under one of the red terminal screws and the black one under one of the black, and then just kind of tuck these fuses over here and tuck this wire over here. You can move this around a little bit, wire around after you've got it on there, but and then we got this cover here. Let's see here. We don't want that there. We want it. We don't want that either. I will have to investigate that. Let's see if it says in the instructions real quick. Sorry for the hold up here. Let's plug this in real quick. Make sure which jacks are external speaker on this one here. And that one's over here. Just making sure we got this stuff tucked in here right. Alright, back with the knobs here. I'll figure this little black plastic panel here out later. Alright, cable's in there. Okay. All right. Let's plug this thing in. Again, we've got one of these universal plugs here. I love these because it's just really nice to be able to take the power cord off of whatever you're dealing with. All right, got that plugged in there. I got a wall plug over here. I'm just going to plug it into. And got some coax laying over here too, so I may as well just plug the coax in here. Once again, the idea of this is that you basically just need to attach coax to it, plug it into the wall, and you're ready to go, you know, with your radio. So our power, plug the microphone in here. Power switch is here. And the radio appears to be coming on. Okay. Oh, my poor kitchen counter. You would not believe what it really looks like. I mean, yeah, okay. Let me check and make sure we're getting this in frame here. Okay. So once again, there we go. Let's see. So here we go. Once again, we've got a functioning, you've got your power supply in here. You got your front firing speaker there. Let's see, we turn our cooling fan on here. High, low, and off for the cooling fan. Just great. Let's see if we got anything out there. There's a little bit of skip rolling earlier. I get so used to doing it this way, I forget this thing has buttons on it. Okay, so apparently this device here is called a air deflector. This plastic piece here. And apparently the idea is if you don't have any fans on your radio, this fan in here, there's enough air moving around in here that this will deflect some of the air up onto your heat sink, is basically the idea behind this. So if you want to use it that way, you can. It doesn't really fit in there right with the way these cooling fans and stuff are on here. So again, it's just kind of an optional piece. So you might find it useful and you might not. You can put your radio knobs in different positions here, meaning, if you want to have this thing further up like that, you can. If you want to have it further back and more flush like this, you can. So that's kind of cool. So there you go. Once again, the K-625 for the President Washington Mobile. It's pretty cool, man. I mean, you just need coax and a wall plug-in. You can get yourself some really small, like that RG400, and run that through a window or put a little hole in the wall someplace. It doesn't take much to route that stuff. Bring that stuff in there and have something to plug it into, and got yourself a radio. So, anyways, again, Shane, Gemini Garage.